How about this? I love the music. I'm such a nerd. Is this like money music? Money come, money come, money come, money come, money come. I wish you could record stuff and then add it. That would be so good.
So, welcome to our taste of sneak preview into the Access Business and Money class with myself, Amy Shine.
Becky Vannes.
And we're both Joy Business facilitators, hence the logo. And Joy Business is a specialty class of Access Consciousness. And there's many classes within Joy Business you can take, all of them facilitating different areas. And there's a class called the Access Business and Money class, and it's a one-day class, and you can be split up over 2 days online as well, and it has a whole manual. This is the manual, and me and Becky are going to be facilitating it next week, actually.
Yeah.
And I've been reading the manual, and it's full of gold. Like, this manual has so many tools, and not even just tools and clearings, but also like exercises in getting you clear on what you're looking for, what you're asking to create, where you are creating points of views and limitations with business and money. So we wanted to do a little sneak preview into this class because I think I didn't realize this class had a manual. I didn't realize what the manual was like. And when I finally printed it and read the manual, I was like, wow, I want everyone to know that this is here. So we were going to pick a couple of things or like that popped for us and give you a little sneak preview into it.
Yes.
We're back.
I think I love, what actually happened was Amy printed this out and she kept messaging me. She's like, oh my gosh, like this manual is like gold. And I was like, let me look at it. And then, so, I looked at my PDF and I've been looking and reading. And I was like, I don't think people have any clue like what this one-day class actually can be. And if you've ever said, I wish I had more money, I'd like to have more income revenue streams, any of those things, and there's so much more, or I'm in debt and it's never enough. Like, this manual is a gem. It's all about money. So did you see something, Amy? Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, well, actually, the one that pinged me the most was actually at the very beginning of the manual, and it's just what you were talking about there, like whatever is not working in your life, whatever is not working in your business, and you are creating it, right? So say that you're having small classes, or your business expenses are more than your profit or your revenue, and whatever it is, or just like you're having difficulty with money, you are creating it by your very point of view, right? So how do you identify your point of view? So right now, if you look, okay, what's showing up in your life? What's showing up in your money situation? And what's showing up in your business that you would like to be different? So let's just go with money for a second. So right now, have a look at what's going on for you financially. And what's showing up in your money situation right now that you would like it to be different? And so say the first thing that pops is, okay, I would like to have more revenue streams. Like, I would like to have a lot more cash coming in, a lot more profit.
Yeah.
Now ask, what point of view is creating this? Like, if what's going on right now is you're not creating a lot of profit, you don't have a lot of revenue streams, you're just dependent on one revenue stream, ask, okay, what point of view is creating this as it is right now?
Right. Wow.
Well, I just got like that I'm not capable, or I can't do more, or I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just got a whole lot of like doubt and judgment come up. So if you're going, what would it take to have more revenue streams show up? What would it take for me to have more profit? What would it take for me to create more revenue? But your point of view is, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a clue what to do. I'm useless, or or I have no value, or if you have any of those points of views, you can't really create more revenue streams then, because it's your point of view that's dictating your reality that's showing up with money and business.
Yeah.
Well, so everything that is, so all the points of views you have creating this, can we now destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, only shirts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So, first of all, it's to get honest with yourself, right? And that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Get honest with the points of views that are running your reality. And then you can ask, okay, instead of avoiding this, instead of um like trying to push this out of my world, what first of all, get honest with yourself and then be like, okay, what can I be to change this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
what can I be to change this?
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny because someone wrote, if it's not a major source of income, I doubt if it can be. I mean, I'm not really sure what you're trying to say here, but the right word that pops is doubt. Like,
Right.
doubt
It's down.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, you're doubting you, you're doubting the business, you're doubting money. And it's like, if you doubt, like, your idea, say you have an idea for a new business and then you doubt you, is that new business going to actually come into fruition if you spend more energy doubting it than you do creating it? And so, like, will
Right.
money actually come into your world if you're doubting money? You know? So it's like, this is where our point of view is really dictating what's showing up in our reality. And until we get clear on what our points of views are and then be
Hmm.
willing to destroy and create them and choose beyond them, we can't have a different reality with business or money. Yeah.
Are you
Boom.
speaking Chinese? My
So
brain's
all
not listening to
Yeah,
you.
and it's brilliant because business and money in this reality is a distractor implant.
Yes.
So everywhere you've been using business and money as a distractor implant to keep you doubting you, angry at you, hating you, um, and keep you in constant judgment of you, can we now destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
Ooh, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, corner shirts, boys, pulveds, and beyonds. So you could ask, okay, if I wasn't doubting me here with this idea or this business or this revenue stream, what do I know? And what can I learn too? Because business is not just about, awareness. It is. Awareness is a big part of it, but it's also about knowledge and awareness.
Mm.
And like, did you ever actually know, Becky, before you started any business, did you actually know what you were doing? Or
I
did
had
you
no
learn
idea.
it?
I had no
Mhm.
idea what I was doing.
No idea. Yeah.
No idea.
You had a knowing that you were like, you have a knowing that like it's possible and that you know that you can, like, you know that you have a power and a potency and you know that you have abilities, but like the actual like running or day to day, like whether it's putting the business together, whether it's even like getting a website, like whatever it is, that stuff you learn it as you go.
Yeah, that doesn't happen first. Like, like a lot of people are like, well, I have to do this and this and this, and then I have a business. Or, like I've always just went like one step in front of the other and, moved the business, the energy of the business, and those things all fell into play.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what if you would stop doubting you and actually start creating? Oh, wow. What was your win, Becky?
I had a couple of them, but we started with this one. So this one kind of popped. Well, actually, I'm going to start with, I think a lot of people, and you might be one of those, that you're like, well, I don't actually have a business, or I work for somebody else. So like, how would this contribute, to my life? Like, I think a lot of times you hear that, well, I don't have a product, I don't have a business. And for me, what I always loved is I started just reading the Joy of Business book. And, even on the very beginning, It just says, what if business is the adventure of living? Right. So if you're one of them where you're like, well, how is this going to contribute to me? I don't have a business. Well, your life is your business and your business is your life. And even in this amazing workbook, it even goes into a little bit of that, helping you with that. How many people are like, well, okay, great, my life's my business. Well, what is that? So if you're alive, you have a business. It's called, just like I said, the business of living. And what do you love to do? And what is fun for you? So what I really like is this is like an interactive workbook, and so it even helps you with that. So that was like the first thing that I really loved. That just to like bring about. If you're like, well, how does this even apply to me? Well, what if this is like the step one? It's funny. It's step one, but then to me, as I got in further, like we were just so like amazed by this manual, this workbook, is that like it gives you step one, like what we just talked about, like, hey, you don't have to have a website, you don't have to have an LLC yet. Here's some tools to start asking and apply to really get to know what you know and like what is your business, right? And then that was my first one, that I really, really liked. And then, here I'm reading and, reading more. And then I'm like, oh, well, geez, I love this one and I love that one. And what I really love is there's also a little section too. It's like, do you want to have money? How
Mm.
many of you are like, yeah, I need more money for this, or like you plan your life around creating for one thing that maybe you want, but do you really actually want to have money? That when you have so much money that your life becomes a choice of like, hey, this will create greater for my future, yes or no, and you are able to navigate your life from choice of what actually works for you, not from, well, I don't have enough money, I can't choose that. And me and Amy, actually, because we've been looking at this, we just had a great conversation the other day on that of um, wow, what if we actually are everything that we've ever required? And it's not like, well, I got to add this or I got to be bigger. What if we really just were able to look at these tools, play with these, and do we want to have money? And what number? Remember, like we had a little bit different numbers, and I actually asked another friend, like, what is your number that you would have in the amount in your bank account that you have, so it would allow your life to be choice and choosing for you. And me and Amy looked at a number, and you're like, what's your number? And I think my number might have been like 5 million. I was like, if
Yeah.
I had 5 million, like I would look at different things. And this person's number was 50,000. And I was like, oh, so, for them having 50,000 would create that like sense of having with money.
She might think that would create a having with money, and then she'll get to 50,000. She'll be like, no, that's not enough at all. I require more. Because there is that energy of like, as you choose more, as you choose greater, as you receive more, you upgrade your life. So, like even right now, we might say 5 million, but then if we got to 5 million, we might be like, actually, no, a billion, you know? And
Yep.
the beautiful thing about like the universe is that it's a banquet. There's infinite possibilities. There's no end game. A lot of people decided, well, I get to this certain amount of money and then my life will be good. No, you'll still have problems when you have money. There'll just be different types of problems.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You'll have different issues. You won't be
Yeah.
worrying about, you'll worry about different things, or you'll have different. So it's like, I always thought that too. Like I thought I would get to a certain sum and it would give me a sense of having money, and it did. But at the same time, it was like, okay, I require more. And then I'd get there and I'd be like, I require more. And it's like as you go, your ask becomes bigger. Like what you're asking for becomes bigger in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
So,
funny, we did start the beginning saying, "Can I have the money now, please?" And that is one of the tools from this workbook. Like, "Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please?" And really playing with asking for money.
Yeah.
from the fun of it.
Yeah, yeah, just explore and play and just, and just see, like, do you want to have money? And there's a bunch of like amazing clearings in here. There's a bunch of amazing questions. There's like home play. Um, I'm just so like I'm so amazed at like how it's put together, even from like the beginning step of like, okay, do you have a business? And play with that. Because even for somebody that's like, hey, I don't have a business, well, would you like to have more businesses? Like, so if you're like, well, that doesn't apply to me, I have a business. But I know me and Amy talk about all the time, like, what else can we add? Like, we'd like to add more businesses, more income revenue streams, and just more. So um, it's just like this interactive creation of the future that I am just really excited about.
And it's also like this manual is really a lot about money. There's so many money clearings in it. So you can apply it to your life, like your financial reality or your business, whatever, both of them. So a couple of questions that you could kind of, if you want to take away anything from today, is one of my favorite ones too. What can I add to my life today to create more revenue streams right away?
Yes.
Who or else could contribute to me having more money in my life? Oh, I like this one. Where can I use my money so that it makes more money for me? So I don't use the word use. I actually sometimes go, money, where can I put you that would allow you to multiply and make babies?
I love the big babies part.
Like, hey, can you go out and make more babies and come back to me? Where can I put you? Where can I invest you? Where would you like to go that would allow you to make more and come back to me 10 times over? And then if money was not the issue, what would I choose? That is a brilliant question. Whenever I look at,
Brilliant.
saying, oh, I can't choose that because I don't have the money, I go, okay, well, if money wasn't the issue, what would I choose? Yeah. I was going to ask you to post the link. And then if I were choosing just for me, just for fun, what would I choose? And if I was an allowance of money, what would I choose? What would I change? And what would I create? Wow, how many of us don't actually have allowance for money?
Wow.
We're always resisting it, reacting to it, aligning with it, agreeing with it. If you had allowance for money, money was just an interesting point of view. It didn't make you right, it didn't make you wrong. What would you choose with money? What would you change with money?
Mm,
And what would you create with money?
yeah,
Wow.
I'll have that.
Yeah. Look
Well,
at the energy of what we could change and choose and create if we actually had money as an interesting point of view.
well, then everything is choice. You're like, oh, I'll have this and I'll have this and I'll have that. And then you actually might be surprised what you wouldn't choose.
Yeah.
You might be surprised. I think a lot of people think that they choose it all if they had money, but that actually might not be the case if you're allowed yourself to just indulge that you can have anything that you would choose. You might be surprised. So let's, if we don't see you guys here at this Access Business and Money, there's
Well,
much
well,
more.
yeah, just let people know that it's a 1 day class. We're going to be
Mhm.
doing it online, but we're splitting it up into 3 hour segments. So we're going to be June the 7th and 8th. So it's
Yes.
next Tuesday and Wednesday. Or sorry, no, next Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes.
3 hours Wednesday morning Eastern Standard Time, 3 hours Thursday morning Eastern Standard Time, and you'll get the manual. If you sign up and pay in advance, you'll get the manual emailed to you, and you can print
Mhm.
it before the class, so you can have it on your computer.
Yeah.
And we'll be like really getting into this. There's a lot in this class for a 1 day class, so I'm excited. So, and
Me
we do
too.
have Chinese translation as well. We have one or two other languages. So,
Yeah.
there's
Start
no
playing with some of these tools that we just talked about in here and see like what that creates for you.
yes, it can be your
Yay.
sleep every night running these clearings.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Oh, I'm the one that has to stop. I'm like waiting for Amy. Bye, everyone.